it'll be easier to just make the sounds of the sound effects with my mouth. Because I think we should use jump cuts for a stop motion if it just goes like, or should it go like, this is a must. We gotta put a lot of early 2000s reality TV door slam. We should definitely do it when it's really inappropriate, when I'm like crying, really emotional, and then, I don't know. Some of these need a rewrite, but the opening goes something like this. For a short window of time, I recently only owned... I don't have the number correct because I've never laid out the actual number of things. I guess we'll just dub over the opening with like
somebody else's voice.
I recently only owned 92 things. During that short window, I was gifted a rare perspective. This film is an attempt to preserve that perspective because it was both beautiful and it was expensive. I'm not sure that that's true, like as a premise, that I only owned 92 things. To say that in a building I'm the co-owner of and capture it on the gear I'm the co-owner of is, I don't know, a little dicey. This is everything that was left, and maybe itemizing it, making an inventory, gives us some insight into how to hold on to this moment. 92 is kind of a strange way of counting it. My car only counts as one, and then there's just a bunch of stuff in my car. Some CDs, which mostly just show my age, like Cypress Hill. A big pile of napkins counts as one. Some women's deodorant. One sock. The f is this other sock? My headlamp, the power was out, really dark up there. Not one, not two, but 3 earthquake kits. Mi photo. Paperwork for child support case. This one is empty. Yeah, this is a Polaroid I took of my childhood house. This hard drive.
It's about to run out of battery. Ready?
Ready? It's my mini DV archive that was digitized in college.
I found it!
The people who are in this footage wish that it burned in the fire. But I went back and got it.
Well,
the first thing that I took was this camera, Canon 5D Mark IV. I took it and started taking a time lapse. During the pandemic, I collected time lapse shots of the energy grid. My intention was to portray the grid as both a marvel of engineering and also a fragile relic when compared to the power of nature. Of course, I had no idea how clearly this point would become true in my life 5 years later. Somebody from my childhood was texting me, hey, you're not anywhere near these fires in LA, right? And I'm like, no, I'm all the way on the other side of town. And then while I'm getting those texts, my neighborhood group text goes, hey, heads up guys, there's a fire in Eaton Canyon. I mean, people know about people know the name, the Eaton Fire, but when it first started, it was called the Close Fire. I thought, that's a dumb name. Close to who? And then I looked and I could already see the fire from my front door. And I was like, oh, close to me. The camera, I was wrong actually. That wasn't the very first thing that I took. When my kid's mom and my kid were evacuating, I saw them on the side of the road as they were driving away, and I gave my kid a hug, and she gave me this little doll. And she said, here, Dad, take this. It'll keep you safe. I I didn't at that point know what was gonna happen. None of us did. And I started trying to shoot more coverage of the fire. I started driving closer and closer to where the active area was actually burning. I quickly got into some scenarios that were the most dangerous stuff that I did of the entire time. And I remember reaching into my pocket and holding on to this, you know, what was a doll and what became like a talisman with a protective spell on it, because I was genuinely afraid of what I had gotten myself into.
Not again. I want to see some videos.
We're perpetually trying to keep up with this house, but it's not. These are the last shots of a 5-year-long home video project.
Dad,
What?
could you get me a little bit of stuff from my room?
What do you need?
Like just choose whatever you want. Whatever things you want to put in the castle.
Okay.
Because it's our castle.
Together.
Yeah.
Great. It was shot and organized with the dream of one day editing the mountain of footage into an episodic mock show with my daughter in the starring role called Poppy from Poppy Fields. Altadena was a magical neighborhood to live in, and an especially exciting place to have a baby. Well, that won't work for voiceover. I think I'll get it now. Altadena was a magical neighborhood to live in, and an especially exciting place to have a baby. Not only would you regularly see people riding horses down the streets, but you could easily walk out your door and find wild peacocks roaming around the neighborhood as well.
And look at peacocks.
I got dressed in the dark, and I luckily ended up with these socks that have poppies on them. Super old underwear that became my only pair of underwear. T-shirt that became my only t-shirt with this dumb Groundhog's Day reference on it. Some super bougie sweats that my mom gave me for Christmas. Hat with a poppy on it as well that I had just gotten from the Theodore Payne Foundation. And this Rolling Stones sweatshirt, and all the rest of my clothes are gone. These were what I was wearing when I woke up in the morning and drove back up to Altadena to check on my house. And there were really foreboding signs along the way. I made it to my street, Poppy Fields, in time to watch the last house on our block burn down. And that's when I saw my house.
take a picture.
But these clothes, I have a weird relationship with them now because I was in the fire with these clothes all day, and they're like really special to me. I can never throw them away, but I don't want to wear them. Well, frankly, they scare me. I'm almost even afraid to touch them like this because I'm worried about how many toxic materials are maybe still absorbed into these fibers. I stayed up in the neighborhood all day just trying to witness the surreal and insane environment that I was in. Kind of tagged along with some neighbors from down the block. We saw houses that were completely fine, set on fire and burn all the way to the ground. We saw the fire department come and not be able to do anything about it. We saw just surreal images all over the place. Like, I found this box of fireworks just sitting next to a completely burned down house.
Oh my God.
By nightfall, the familiar neighborhood streets that I'd walked hundreds of times had been transformed into an alien landscape. I began to worry that I would get injured, so I drove down the hill. The first few nights without my house, I stayed in my office. My crew tenderly tried to make it feel more like home by making my couch into a bed, filling the fridge with food, and leaving the Christmas lights on. The quasar that had the fire setting going seemed wrong, but I knew the intention was right. I really did like it. I just thought, this is maybe a little tone deaf.
You have footage of it too, right?
Yeah, I got it. I shot it, yeah. I sat in my office looking at my library, an eclectic collection of art and opinions about art. It had never seemed so complete before. That is where I first glimpsed the rare perspective I'm attempting to preserve. I was responding to text messages, and I got a hold of my old friend Paco. I will admit, I wrote and rewrote this sentiment many times in those first days, attempting to explain it even to myself. But I remember the feeling being so pure at that moment. She said, "I don't think my mind can comprehend the extent of how bad this is. How are you feeling?" And I said, "I am in a rare, beautiful place." I don't know why I have to subject you guys to this in order to make myself cry about this. Android now, I'm part camera, I can't. My whole heart isn't really available unless I'm
mic'd up or have a camera in my hands, I guess. Or at least I, became so preoccupied all the time with achieving and money and debt and stuff, and it just took up a lot of space in my mind and my heart. It just was always there. And when that happened, there was this big space that opened up, and then simultaneously all these people came into the space with kindness, and I think that's why it was so overwhelming. I'm like thinking about all the money and stuff and chasing that stuff down and chasing dollars down in a totally different way now. I had a lot of really nice stuff, but I never got anything. I never felt anything like what I'm trying to explain before I forget. I'm trying to. I want to keep this. I want to keep this feeling. I want to keep that. I don't want to lose that. I don't think this is gonna work.
I don't think this experiment is going to work because seeing all this stuff laid out like this, I understand it helps me reconstruct the events of the night and that day. It helps me remember the fire. It helps me remember maybe even certain parts of my house. But it doesn't help me crystallize that moment of clarity that I had. That moment was beautiful, but it's gone. I got a job in Nashville right after the fire, and I had to buy clothes in order to go to the airport.
This could be my jump to wide leg guy. I don't know.
And then I lived in hotels for a little while after that. And I had to buy supplies to, travel around to the hotels. And I got a one-bedroom apartment that I live in now that I'm trying to set up for me and my daughter. So I bought toothpaste and towels and paper towels and a mattress and blankets and pillows and milk, mac and cheese and dining room tables, stools, whatever, you name it. I'm not in that place anymore. Despite how beautiful it was, I don't think that you can hold on to a time. You can't hold on to a moment. I don't get to keep that.
I said, I am in a rare, beautiful place. I feel really happy to be alive. I feel really grateful that Poppy is okay. I feel surrounded by the coolest fucking people just raining down waterfalls of love and support on me, pummeling my heart with nothing in the way. Lynch and Amy raised like $50,000 for me. It's insane. And I think lots of people are given moments of clarity like this, but they come with a hefty sacrifice. Usually people are pushed into this kind of place by the death of a loved one or the arrival of a terminal illness. I just sacrificed stuff, and what's left is love. It's so... It's so beautiful.